Now, some awesome stuff we gotta get to is the fact that IGN announced that all August long they'll be revealing stuff about WWE 2K15, gameplay, game modes, a roster, so pretty much everything. You know, you mentioned a little bit of that on the weekly filler. I know you'll be doing that as time progresses. But one of the features that I do want to get to, sadly we've gotten no footage as of this moment, although we got a John Cena screenshot I want to talk about. But they revealed that, first of all, the story mode exclusive to current generation consoles. That means Xbox One, PS4. Obviously, a lot of people were sad about that. Now, if you do get to play those modes, there are two varieties. One of them is that you'll be able to play multiple top rivalries from WWE history. So effectively, it's like 30 years of WrestleMania, but going very specific to a particular feud or rivalries.
That mode is on the old gen PS3 systems.
Okay, so it's a CEW one.
Yes, it's the MyCareer one that isn't.
Oh, okay, so the article that I read was not all that great. Okay, awesome. But basically, the other mode that is current generation Xbox One, PS4, is the Creator Wrestler story mode. So, you go from the top up. They didn't really tell too much about it, except the fact that, yeah, it's current gen. So, what's your reaction regarding to the exclusivity and the game modes?
I think it kind of sucks that the My Career mode, the mode I think I'm most looking forward to, is only on the PS4, Xbox One, since I don't have either of those yet. So that's really disappointing to me because I don't really care about the other rivalry mode. It sounds very similar to the WrestleMania, 30 years of WrestleMania mode from last year or the Attitude Era mode from the year before. I know it's going to focus in more depth into two different feuds, but that mode's really played out, and the My Career mode just sounds so much better.
It sounds like they just remade the whole 30 years of WrestleMania or the Relive the Attitude Era. Like, oh, here's a couple matches. Now go complete X objective in Y time type of thing. But I don't know. I'm not surprised at all by the new mode being next current gen exclusive. Just because they've been saying, like, they've been working on this forever as a current gen game. So, yeah, I think a lot of the new games coming out recently have been like, oh, here's the current gen version, and then the last gen version is just kind of a watered down version of it. So it's not all that surprising.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think it's to be expected. It's a little bit weird this time around, I think, because when we were getting the SmackDown versus Raw games, we got the 360 one, but the PS2 games were essentially the same. They had the same content, they just didn't look as good. Whereas this time, it's like, bam, the very first game we get next gen or current gen now, we do get a hampered down previous gen console version, which, I mean, Ryan, you and I were just like, yeah, we'll get it for PS3, but I gotta ask you, I mean, if the mode turns out to be good, are you gonna make the jump?
I don't know if I'm gonna get it right at launch, but I think I'm eventually gonna have to just cave and buy it. I think they just want to get more aggressive with their, PS4, Xbox 360, want to be more aggressive with their games, making the features that much better to kind of be like, come on guys, these systems have been out a year now. It's time to upgrade, because I think a lot more people have been kind of holding out. Considering that there may not be a whole bunch of games out yet, but it's features like this that I'm just like, oh man, this is a big deal, this career mode. This is something people have been wanting back in the games for so long. And now it's like, yeah, I pretty much got to get a PS4 just to play it. I'll check out the reviews, make sure it's worth it. But if it's as good as I think it's going to be, then I pretty much don't have a choice but to get the current gen.
Now, we haven't really seen any gameplay. However, John Cena tweeted a picture of his game model, which is the first time we've ever seen any of that. I mean, wow. I mean, it certainly looks different. That's the first thing,
Yeah.
You could see a pretty big jump.
His facial expression is really weird, but from what we understood, what we read about the whole press conference, that they can, they're going to be changing their facial expressions throughout matches and cutscenes and all that. So, I mean, the models look amazing. I mean, it is a big step up from, previous games.
Yeah, I mean, even if you compare the lighting to previous game, which is what they mentioned, the lighting is definitely the biggest improvement. You can see that. You look at it, man. Yeah, I mean, it looks like a video game still, but it has that bigger raw type presentation to it.
My question to you guys, because you play a lot more of the games than I do, is does that actually matter though? Like if you have the panned out camera angle, do facial expressions really matter? Like, yeah, there's the set animations when they do a clothesline or a DDT and the camera will change for that, but does that matter?
At least to me, it really does because a lot of times, say you power bomb or something. For example, I have a 55-inch TV, so I mean, like I have WWE 2K14 on PS3. I see every little detail, which means I also get to see every single error or stretched out texture or sprite or whatever the hell. So I absolutely do think it really makes a big change.
Facial expressions aren't as big of a deal to me, but I think it's just all part of the whole presentation and trying to have it as realistic as possible. I mean, I think I'm more interested in better move animations and also maybe different move animations for different moves. So not every suplex looks the same, not every backdrop looks the same, and maybe even variations with the same exact move. I mean, there's the mat. I don't know how you can apply it to what the Madden games do, but I mean, they sort of have an engine where every tackle is unique and different because of the physics. I don't know if that can transition well into a wrestling game, but something along those lines that I think is sort of the dream.
No, and like we are at least hearing about a lot of these things that could lead to those changes. Like apparently there's 4 times the animations from WWE 2K14 and everything. It's like over 50 hours or over 50 days, over 50 days I think it was, of motion capture inside a WWE ring, but done by wrestlers. Brand new commentary where instead of having Cole and King commentate in separate days, they're commentating together, brand new sound. So I don't think it's just the facial expressions. I think it's the combination of everything. It's going to make this game awesome. But of course, the final question is, will it be fun? Will it be different? Are we just going to get a prettier, maybe better animated looking version of 2K14? Because if so, I mean, that's going to be cool. But let's be real, like a week after. Are you really going to care that much?
Well, I mean, I think we just got to see. I mean, we still have so much we haven't seen from the game yet. But, as more things come out, we can kind of make that decision. But it seems like this is a huge step from last year. 13 to 14, there was some changes in there, but we can say it's largely the same exact game, just with a few tweaks. Whereas this seems like it's really a new generation of games. This is 2K's baby. It's not THQ's. So, I mean, I think this is going to be a big step up. Whether it's executed properly, that remains to be seen. But I have high hopes. I have high hopes for this game than I have in a long time.
I think it's an interesting line between realism and fun that wrestling games really need to figure out.
Yep. I mean, IGN's going to be covering stuff all month long. Hopefully, we don't have to wait too long. I mean, I know they're going to be doing the roster reveal at SummerSlam weekend. So in 2 weeks, we are going to get some sort of footage, be it from an entrance, a match, or something. So for what we do have out right now, I'd actually like to know what you guys listening think about the John Cena screenshot, think about the features, send us a tweet at ByteThatCast, or if you're listening on YouTube, just leave a comment below.
And one more question. Like me, does this make you want to buy Next Gen? Does that story mode, is that enough for you guys? Do you already have Next Gen? What your situation is, or are you going to get the old version, or are you going to get it all? Let us know.
Yeah, or both. I mean, that's a possibility.
I don't know why you would, but hey, yeah, maybe you are.
Find better things to do with your money. God bless you, and I love you, but
yeah, and if you have that kind of money, buy us some consoles. We'll play and give you credit.
Yeah.
So I think it's
no e-bagging.
No, sorry.
I'll name it after you.
Yeah, Adam.